That ends so abruptly. I have to work on that. I'm getting better at it though, just not perfect. Good evening. How are you guys?
Hello, hello.
Good.
I'm good.
Kathy will be or Kathy, Katie. I'm clearly all there tonight. Katie will be joining us shortly, but I'm just going to jump into it, the little intro, because that seems like the formal thing to do, because that's, we are just so formal. Let me kind of move my screen around so I can read what I wrote because I didn't memorize it. So we are this is episode 25 of SheNanigans, and we're not the most consistent bunch. And episode 25 is definitely a reminder that things don't always look perfect, and that neither does real life. So since we launched back, I think in summer of 2024, while we've not been consistent on air, we have been consistent in living through our experiences and laughing together, pausing together, and then picking up where we left off from our last episode. So just kind of a little reminder that we don't always have to be here, but we are always here. Tonight, there's four of us. Katie should be showing up here shortly, but we have our real life Barbie doll, Amber, and our beach loving, level headed friend, Kathy. And then our favorite woman who won't hesitate to respond with a throat punch, Katie. And then myself, Tara, who just brings us all together. And we come together as a panel of women who talk honestly about life as it's happening. There's no scripts, there's no filters, and no apologies, which if you've ever seen the show, then you know there's no apologies. The conversation we have reflects exactly what SheNanigans has always been about, and that's just showing up and saying things that usually get edited out everywhere else on the internet. So we'll probably never be monetized on YouTube, but it would be really nice if we were. So like many other women out there, we're navigating through real life schedules and all the seasons and all the energies that never line up perfectly. It just goes to show why it's important for women to speak up honestly, why we don't need the permission to speak up. We reveal the power of showing up when we come here, even when it's messy. We honor each other's friendships. We honor our perspectives and the experiences. We bring them to the table and we talk about them. And we definitely say the quiet parts out loud, and usually we're laughing through them. So if you've never been here before, welcome to SheNanigans. We're about to shenanigate. I just made that word up today. I think I like that. That might be my new word. It's a new verb. Shenanigate. So, and we've off and on started off with introductions. I already took care of that. So we are a drinking show. I've heard that we're alcoholics. I find that fun to believe. Not credible, but fun. But we're a show that we do have our drinks on the show. I have a Cabernet. Amber, what do you have?
Currently, I have my giant jug of water, and my wine will be delivered shortly.
The wine will be delivered shortly. That's awesome.
The hosts had to run to the store.
Okay. And what about you, Kathy?
I also have my giant jug of water, and I will not be having wine delivered to me. So
I do have water, not to be left out. It's just not a giant jug, and it also disappears with my background. So it's transparent. So tonight, this came up in one of our conversations that we have, our little private chat about narcissists. I'm trying to remember why it came up. I think there was a situation that I was presented with that I was like, hey, gals, you'll never believe what I'm experiencing right now. And I think that's how the conversation probably came to light, because that's normally where they come to light at. And so first things first, do you guys know, you guys have heard the term narcissist, surely?
Of course. Yeah.
Kathy's like, yeah.
Probably embedded in my brain.
Right.
Yeah. And so the term that it's been around for a long time, right? And it's kind of become a trendy word the last several years. Anybody that doesn't, seems like it's overused and it might be losing its value a little bit nowadays when somebody's not doing something, or they're not agreeing with something, or they're being a certain way. Oh my God, they're a narcissist. What a narcissist. And I'm seeing some, I don't know, things, some of the labels that matching up with some of the behaviors that people are identifying. So I think it's definitely becoming a buzzword versus an actual term of something to be concerned with, because it truly is. I know my experiences has never been taken lightly. What about you gals?
Same. Until I had the experiences that I did, I didn't even know the meaning of that word really, because it wasn't presented to me in a way that it was affecting me in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't understand what it was until I understood that it was happening to me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Agreed. I
I
totally see that.
I didn't I don't know that I had even like heard of the term until like later in life, and I was I was in therapy, and it was being explained to me what I was dealing with. Um and interestingly enough, I mean, like, because you like you say, people have, it's kind of turned into a buzzword because people use the word all the time. A lot of times it probably doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Because just because somebody has a narcissistic trait does not necessarily mean that they are actually a narcissist.
Agreed.
The main problem though is somebody who is actually a narcissist typically is not going to be one of those people that goes to a therapist to be diagnosed with that particular disorder.
Mhm.
So even though like somebody is not supposed to really be a narcissist unless they've been diagnosed with that, but you can't, when they're not going to be the ones to go to therapy, they're usually kind of being diagnosed third party.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that was my experience. I had experience with a covert narcissist and an overt narcissist. I like went from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Agreed. Hi,
Yeah.
Katie.
Hi.
Katie,
How are you?
I'm all right. It's been a busy day. Sorry I'm late.
You're not sorry you're late. You're always late. That is you. We appreciate that about you.
Yeah. I left to go a game early to be here. So
You did not.
I said, well, I can watch it via an app here later, depending on what. Yeah. So don't give me any shit.
Aw.
I'm not in the mood for that.
What are we supposed to do with you? We can't do what? You can't limit us. Oh God, never mind. She's got the bottle. I have other things to give you.
half of our
grief
fun
for.
is busting Katie's balls. So
Yeah.
Well, have you seen them though? I mean, she did bust them out at the Christmas party, so just saying. Well, you did. They were the gigantic, enormous ones.
I thought
Tell
you
me
meant her cheese balls, but
Oh, okay, there's that too.
They come in all sizes, and I love
You
them all.
do. And textures. Would you stop at the damn bottle though? Oh my God.
no, I
Guys,
love it. Keep
Oh.
going.
Don't tell me to stop.
Chug.
It's been a day. Okay. It's been a
I get-
week.
I understand it's been a day. You just okay. I can't.
Well, you know what? No, you do you.
You
and
can't
I'll do
control.
me.
You can't control her drinking habits.
That sounded
didn't
so
want to
much
dirty
worse
the
than it is.
No, this isn't what it is.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's actually just her water bottle.
Yeah. Right.
Her giant water bottle. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Okay, so back to the narcissistic thing. Agreed. I think a lot of narcissists they are not treated, whether they're diagnosed or not, as immaterial. I think it's just that treatment. But I have seen a new trend floating around out there on social media about people coming forward saying, I went to a therapist and found out I'm a narcissist. And it's like, that's not how that works. You don't just accept that. A true narcissist doesn't be like, oh my God, it's like, I found out I have, crabs. It's not that kind of diagnosis. So I don't think, I really look at those posts with a very skeptical eye of, really, did you though? Or is this one of those things where, like the narcissist will, do you say something so they get they're almost like Munchausen syndrome. They got to come up with something wrong with them to get a bunch of attention at the same time, even though they're an isolating type of person. I don't know. I've just been seeing this on social media where people are now they're saying they're diagnosed narcissists.
Well, I mean, They could
Good
be.
for
I mean,
you.
just because a typical narcissist isn't going to go to a therapist doesn't mean that none of them do.
Katie,
That's true.
do not say anything humorous while I'm taking a drink of wine. I damn near died. Oh my god.
I just feel like
No, good.
sometimes it's
You're a
badge of
narcissist. Good for
honor
you.
for
It's like
people.
no.
I honestly feel like some of those individuals are just looking for, I don't know, attention,
Like it's
obviously.
justified. Like it's not my fault. I'm a diagnosed narcissist. It's not my fault, right? I don't know. I just feel like it's
I'm
not
sure that's part of it. I
because
mean,
it's. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I just have a hard time with that. Kathy's.
I can't hear Katie.
hello.
Yeah, something happened.
There's Kathy. You can't hear Katie?
Yeah.
I'm really tired of these technical difficulties. I can hear her just fine.
When Kathy left and came back,
Yeah.
you
I
guys
got
could-
nothing.
Yeah, I can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
Amber-
I just lost everything, so I don't know.
That's so weird. Well, it's
I
the
know.
joy of technology. Amber,
Oh.
you're gonna have to restart
I'll hop out and hop back in.
the joys. Ugh. Oh, so and Katie, we'd already covered, and then we know the answer for you, but just to hear you say it anyway, where'd Katie go? She's out. Why did you leave the stage? What are you doing?
I was trying to fix whatever. Do you hear me now?
Well, it was Amber's problem. Amber's the one who had to leave and come back in.
Well,
You're good.
I was like, I was wanting to make, like, Kathy left, she came back in, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So maybe I'll just jump off
No, it's
and
Amber.
then come back in, and yeah. Anyway.
Are we fixed? Are we all fixed now?
I can hear you. I can hear Katie.
Yeah, we can.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, we're good.
Everybody
Okay.
hold still and don't move a cord or a device or anything.
I didn't touch anything.
I lost my background though. It won't let me put it back up. So
Oh my
well.
goodness.
No
It's
big
well,
deal.
StreamYard just had some changes too. So that's who we use to broadcast. So that might be part of it. Oh my God, all these little squirrels running around in our conversation. We can't stay focused. Okay, so back to Katie, you've got experience with narcissist as well.
Multiple, probably. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I missed the beginning. I mean, I think everyone has their own idea of what a narcissist is, and narcissists have their own idea of what they are. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Do they know that that's their behavior? And narcissism is, to me, it's a behavior type from the personality, from the core personality. It's a trauma response. And until you deal with it, you're going to continue to example that behavior no matter what. That's from the narcissists that I have been involved with throughout my entire life. They are all trauma-filled individuals who do not have healthy coping skills.
Well, I also think that there are some individuals that just like to adopt that terminology and call themselves a narcissist. And so there's probably some individuals out there that you may come across that say I'm this, or here's my backstory, but they could be full of shit.
Well, on the flip side of that, I don't know anybody that self-diagnoses themselves that it's not good to be a narcissist. Like,
yeah, I know.
be a narcissist. So it's where I see it is people that don't understand the true meaning of it that are saying, "Oh, so and so, such a narcissist. So and so, and they're just labeling somebody because, like you said earlier, Terry, they may have a tendency of maybe a minor tendency of being a narcissist, but they're not. They're not really. But it's just like you said earlier, it's an overused excuse for a lot of people.
Oh, and I think, like I said, I don't think a lot of people truly understand it from a
Yeah.
behavioral perspective when you really look at it and break it down and understand why people are the way that they are, whether they're narcissists or not.
Yeah.
And I know I've teetered in that. I've teetered with those narcissistic traits a long, long, long time ago because I came from a narcissistic family. We had the main narcissist and everything else revolved around that narcissist. So like the flying monkeys, the golden child, the whole 9 yards, that whole, you can look up in the DSM-5 and see all these things, and that describes my family. But that's been years and years and years ago. Things have changed since then. for whatever reason. It's hard to say. Depends on everybody's experience. But the relationships that we all have had intimate relationships with somebody who exhibited narcissistic behavior. I know I have. Amber, I definitely know you have. I know you're narcissist. Knew
Yeah.
him very well. Not my favorite human being. And I think your narcissist probably dives a little closer to hell than most others. Like he was just an evil individual.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But he was evil just to be controlling. Like he had some trauma to him, but he wasn't even
Mhm.
trying to be a nice person anywhere to anybody.
Yeah.
It was all about what served him.
Except to me. Interesting. Which is the whole reason why I ended up with him, because like, yeah, I saw how, how he was with other people. I saw how he spoke, but with me, he had me on a pedestal, treated me like a queen until he didn't.
First, yes, I was going to
Until he
say.
didn't.
That's the whole.
Right.
That's one of the traits is they draw you in, make you believe something that's not real, and then
Mhm.
once you've succumbed to their claws, I guess.
Right.
Well,
They
that's
should-
that isolation tactic that they use in a way. That's how he would try to isolate Amber. I think that was the thing. I didn't think I saw what he did to you from the outside perspective, and so I had your perspective, and then I saw what he was actually doing, and he turned you into a puppet.
Mhm.
That was the thing, is, and I could see it happening in real time, which was why you and I separated for 10 years. That sounds like we were in a relationship, but our relationship was put on hold for 10 years because
Maybe you were.
if we were, I missed it. And that was a hell of an opportunity for me. That's my loss. But
yeah, I went through a similar situation. So,
well, see, that's the thing too,
Yeah,
is as soon as I met yours, Kathy, I knew he was the moment I met
yeah,
that
but
one.
to what Amber said, she went through as far as, or what you just said about the separation of the friendships, that
Mhm.
it 100% happened with me. I mean,
Mhm.
Katie and you, Tara.
Yeah,
Both.
it's the exact same. And granted, my ex was not as, I don't know, like there's such a spectrum that you can, and
Mhm.
so it can be different. But I know Kathy and I, yeah, very very similar. And I had friends tell, like, I don't know, I had my head in the sand, and I don't know, I wanted to believe what I wanted to believe, and then I did have friends that were just like pointing things out to me, and then yeah, because
Well, you believed what he wanted you to believe.
yeah, and they do kind of, I mean, it's not brainwashing, but it is kind of to a point,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
It
Yes,
is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
absolutely.
It is.
It's
Mhm.
very, whether they know they're doing it or not, they have to isolate you somehow. And so they're convincing, they're actors, right? Because you can go up, say, hey, my friends noticed this. And he can respond, well, Katie, so this is what really happened. That's called gaslighting, which is part of the brainwashing process.
well, and I will say that when I moved far away to South Haven, I did have at least one friend say, he's just trying to get you away from everyone, because we moved that far out and we bought a lot of land. And so at the time it was fine, but yeah, it registered like, yeah, you're right. Like,
So that's another thing too, is that's a hell of an aha moment when it registers, when you start piecing together the formula and you finally work the formula and you see the answer and you're like, no, like
I
that fits
know.
way
It
too
hits you like a
well.
ton of bricks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you
Well-
guys know?
do what?
When did you guys each know? Like, when was that? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
For me, I want to say I always knew, because like I said earlier, I didn't know what I didn't
You
know.
knew something was off,
Yeah.
probably. Like,
Well, you didn't know the label.
Yeah,
I didn't pay attention to any label, but you
I
knew. Yeah.
when I went to therapy, when I attempted to do the marriage therapy, the marriage counseling, that did not go well. Our therapist identified him as that privately to me, because if you try to identify somebody in a negative way like that, they're not going to listen to you, especially people that don't want to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So she was very reluctant to say that in front of him, but she wanted me to understand what it meant. And so I think from that point, and that was 10 years ago, or 10 years into our marriage. I want to say 10 years ago. So, and then I was like, oh, okay. And so once I understood it, then everything started clicking and making sense. And I was able to be more keen on things that I was experiencing that I wasn't before. Like I understood it differently. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But once you understand it, I think, but here's the problem though, even though I understood it and I knew what I was dealing with, I still allowed it to happen because he still had that hold on me. And
well, this was couples therapy, right? That you guys were going to, and
yeah, very, very briefly, because
so
he did not want to. He didn't like what he was hearing.
So you stopped going,
like,
but she told you this. Like,
yeah, what? Yeah, he did not like what he was hearing because she was holding him accountable for things that he needed to be held accountable for, and he didn't like it. So he said, "Screw this! I don't want to do this." So.
It's funny. There was an individual that I dated in between after my when I was single, and the individual, it was the true, same thing, love bombing situation, gaslighting. I picked up on it a lot quicker because of the experience and the aha moments I had had previously, both from romantic and non-romantic relationships. And I was trying to pull away from this individual that I was dating, and he and I decided to do therapy. Right. And so we were both seeing therapists independently, and then we decided we would see one together, but we were trying to determine whose. Should we see mine or his? And so we tried both. And when we went to his therapist, she was like, okay, so I understand Brent, his story and everything he's been bringing to the table. So tell me what you are saying. I'm like, well, before I do that, like, what's your understanding? And she's like, well, this is my understanding. I'm like, okay. And then I laid everything down, and he's there in the room. And I'm like, well, this experience was this from my perspective, and this experience is that from this perspective. And she was kind of looking at me like, no, what happened was XYZ, not ABC. Like, she was correcting me in my experience at first because he had tricked her. He had basically love bombed the therapist to get her on his side. And so when I finally brought to life my experience, and she was like, oh no, I have done this. And she flat out said in front of me, I've done this all wrong. We're going to have to start over because, she said, sir, we have some things we need to work on with you because she shouldn't be feeling this way. And he's like, we're going to see your therapist, Tara. Like, he dropped his therapist because he couldn't trick her anymore with me being there. And my therapist already knew about him. And as soon as he sat down, it's like, you do know you're a narcissist, right? Like, this is not news to you. And he was done at that point. Like, he flat out was done. And as far as I know, he still is one today. He still practices the behavior, but it's trying to get away. That's the other. It's one thing to recognize the behavior, and then trying to get away from it is the other hardship. Like, you can't just tell these people, like, you can't talk to them like a reasonable person and say, yeah, I don't think this is working out, so I'm going to have to go. See ya. They leech onto you.
Mm-hmm.
They do
and
everything they can.
you, and the next thing you know, you're getting a protective order, and they just cannot let it go.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though, like, I had a very similar experience with my first husband because I had left, but he wanted to, he was like, I want to work on the relationship. And I'm like, okay, last ditch effort, let's see if we can do something to figure this out. And so we decided to go to couples therapy. Um, he met with the therapist beforehand without telling me. And it was a therapist that he chose to
Mm-hmm.
explain the situation to him. So by the time I got there, the therapist already had like this whole idea of, um, what was wrong with me and had created an entire PowerPoint about what I needed to do to fix myself so that our marriage would work.
Oh my gosh.
I was livid because I'm like, okay, obviously you're not listening to anything that I have to say.
Mm-mm.
I was like, yeah, this isn't happening.
Gosh, but that's how so the reasonable therapists are going to have an open mind for both parties if they're working. They're not just going to take one. They're going to say, this is your experience. Let me hear from this person. If they're good, and they pick up the signals, they'll put 2 and 2 together and get 4 with the narcissist. Like they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they should be able to see that.
But
right?
you can't be operating from a book entirely because not every narcissist is a textbook DSM-5.
That's true because this was my first husband. He was a covert narcissist. So it's a bit different with them, right? I
Mhm.
mean, it does not come out right away. It comes out very small. They start very slow and you don't recognize it until all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh. What have I gotten myself into? I did not know
Yeah.
that that's what kind of person this was.
Yeah, the people that I don't know personally, but what I read about is they will get you wrapped, and then like for people like getting married, like they're one way before they get married, and then after as soon as they get married,
Definitely a bait and switch.
Bait and switch. Yep.
they
Yes.
switch.
And that's a pretty typical skill. I'll call it a skill set. There's another word for it. It's not coming to mind. Because my first narcissist was in my childhood home. I grew up with a narcissistic parent. And I was not the favored child. I was the black sheep. That sounds so victimizing, self-serving, whatever. But I was the easy target. And so I was isolated from other kids, the golden child and the child that can do no wrong. And then just the whole system was set up. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't escape because I'm a minor. And there's nowhere for me to go. I had to deal. Yeah. So I hated my childhood because I absolutely despise my childhood. I don't have a whole lot of happy memories that it now it's taught me a lot, right? I'm close to all 3 of my children today because I didn't want to repeat that because my parents both came from some sort of narcissistic family as well, both my parents, but one of my parents was especially gifted in this arena of isolation and segregating the fan club from the not fan club. And it was hard because if you can't, it's one thing if you're an adult, you can escape and go somewhere. But if you're a child, you're doomed for 18 years unless you run away, which I did incidentally run away. I finally had enough of it. Didn't work out very well, but it's weird how even romantically or familial, those relationships are very similar in their structure, but they're different in their isolation tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I grew up with a narcissist parent as well. And growing up, it was just like, the iron fist with them, right? So I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to leave the house unless it was church or school. And, I mean, it was very obvious, like, okay, yeah, there's definitely something wrong here.
Yeah.
But when you're in a relationship, I mean, it's so different because they have to woo you first before they can start any of that. It can't just, start right out the gate, because obviously nobody's going to stick around if they're like, oh wow, this guy, there's something wrong with this guy, right? And
Mhm.
so, with my husband, it started so slow. I mean, we had such a great time when we were dating, and then we get married, and it took me a long time to realize that, oh, he is slowly but surely separating me from every single person that I know. First it was my sister. But he had an excuse for that. It was, she's not good for you, and he was trying to, help me be a better person. And then it was, screening all of my friends. And then it's like, well, you're long distance friends. Well, you don't really need to see them. And, well, you're not, you don't really need to go back home anyways. Um,
Right.
so, cause you don't, there's not really anything for you there. You need to focus on building your life here. And so it was just all of that control over who was I around? Who did I speak to? Who was in my life? And if it was somebody from my past, they basically just weren't, they were not okay. They were not good people according to him. And so, yeah, and so it's like it takes years for that stuff to happen, and by the time
Mhm.
you realize what has happened, you're all alone, and who's going to help
Yeah.
you?
It's sad.
Exactly. Who's gonna help you?
Mhm.
It's because you feel bad if you reach out to somebody because you need something,
Mhm.
especially in that situation. You made me think of something, Amber, when you were talking about the isolation process and when you said it, and that's such a classic thing for them to say, because I heard it too. I just want to make you a better person. Well, if you didn't think I was a good person, why are we dating?
Right?
Why are you, why are
I
you,
know.
am I
There were
a
so many
project for
times that
you?
I
What
was
is
like, "Why did
happening?
you marry me? Like, I'm like your little project or something. This is so
Exactly.
weird,
Did you, Kathy, Katie, did you guys hear similar rhetoric from your people? I'm just trying to make you a better person, a better mom, a
Um,
better wife, a better partner, whatever.
no, it was
Actually, I would be surprised if you were said that, Kathy.
no.
I would be surprised.
I didn't
I'm just
get
trying to make you better, Kathy.
any
No,
of
no,
that.
you're not, sir.
No, it was the opposite. Actually, is what I went through was how I was.
Like torn down, like tear you down a little bit.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like it was either really high, like you said, he was the showering with affection, or it was the very polar opposite of just the most terrible, degrading you could imagine. And you it's just hard even talking about it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
mine was similar. Not as extreme, but it is like there was no in between, no
there was
normal.
never any in between. It was highs and lows, all just
That's
every day.
exhausting. Highs
Every
and
day.
lows are mentally. My first marriage, he's a different person today. He has an incredible wife. We get along. We're friends today. Things were very different when we were together. Very, very different. And it's not to say that we brought out the worst in one another necessarily. We just were not compatible, and we forced it. And that forcing brought out the worst traits in us, and
Mhm.
it empowered those bad traits in both of us. So we were not good partners. And I remember it got so bad because it's the highs and the lows. I became physically disrupted by it. Before he would come home from work, I'd pass out on a daily basis. And I had two little boys at home that would find me passed out on the floor from the stress of he's going to come home and we're going to fight. I'm going to say something wrong. And then what? It was not a happy home. And it's amazing how strenuous that is on not
I
just,
was
I mean,
throwing up
everywhere.
every morning. I'd wake up so nauseated.
I
And like it affected my job, because I was so stressed out. Like
yeah,
it takes a toll on your body.
yeah,
Well,
it
and
does.
I remember, Amber, when we first met, you were just coming out of that.
Mhm.
interacting with individuals was, you had to relearn that a little bit. Like
Yeah,
you were,
I didn't have any friends. That's why when you were like, you had asked me to go have dinner, and I was like, oh my God, a human being? Yes.
it was so
This
funny.
is amazing.
So when I first met Amber, I see this beautiful blonde Barbie doll walking around, and I'm just like, oh, she's gorgeous. She'll never hang out, because I had confidence issues, because narcissists will tear your confidence down to nothing. So I had very little confidence. And I was like, she's well dressed. She looks really sharp. She's beautiful. She'll never want to hang out with me. I'm like, hey, so do you want to like play after school today? Like you had that.
It's cute.
And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, you know what I asked you, right? Like you were listening. You
Like, yeah, did you actually ask me that? It's like we were two peas in a pod. We just
and we were inseparable
trying to
once
figure our shit out.
in fact, it was a premiere jewelry party I invited you to, and you were the only one to show up, because I was just coming out of my own non-friend zone situation, and
Mhm.
we were inseparable after that. And we, our boys were similar ages, and you just went from there, and it was awesome. So it was great to have that person to latch onto, where you start revealing those intimate details, right? And you're like, oh my God, me too. Like, not hashtag me too, but you're just like, totally there was finally empathy,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you're
To
starved
talk
for
to somebody and
empathy.
they understand what you're talking about and they believe you,
Yeah.
and don't just say, oh, it can't be that bad. Everything's fine. At least he doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Okay, so I'll share this, and it's only because it's already been put out there. There was a physical side to my first marriage. There was a physical factor. I'm not going to say beaten, because I wasn't beaten, but there was a physical factor, and there was law involved at one point. Damn near ruined his career, because he is law enforcement and was at the time. And it just was Amber was there. She went through that whole ordeal with me back in the day. And it was crazy, because the first time he touched me, he left bruises on me. Being a cop, he's like, well, I can't do that twice, because that'll come back to haunt me. And so there was other means that were being taken to be physical without any evidence. And that's scary. You have no way for people to believe you. And then like, well, at least he doesn't hit you. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know?
The emotional and mental is factually known to be worse than physical.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather he hit me.
Same.
Yes. And I'll tell you, for a number of years, and I'll share this, and again, he and I are friends today. We've worked past everything. We are the ones who had the kid who had a stroke this last year. He's a reasonable human being. He's been through the crapper. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. So we're good friends today. But he had a lot of crap going on in his life at that point in time. And it was hard to resolve everything, lots of pressure. It just got projected back to me as the target. That happens. And for a long time, Amber, do you remember, nobody could touch my throat, because some of the physical stuff included my throat. It took probably 15 or 20 years before somebody could touch my throat, because it was it was a mental game for me, because some of the aggressions were involving my throat. And so anytime a person would try to touch it, or I'd have a piece of clothing too close to it, I couldn't wear very tight necklaces, anything that came close to this part of my throat, I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. And I'd freak out every damn time, because the mental game, it's like, yeah, I wish he would leave a bruise on me somewhere. That way you would believe me.
Yeah.
But then we can't show the mental stuff, because if he sees us showing the mental side, there's hell to pay behind closed doors.
Oh yeah. You gotta keep a smile on your face and keep your mouth shut.
Well, that's why because I remember, I didn't talk about it to many people, especially within my family, but like a couple of close friends or whatever. But then when I'm eventually like, I'm done with this bullshit, because I had family members coming to me, like, and he had his brother calling me, begging me to stay. I'd never seen him so distraught, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, my mind's made up, but they had no idea, I don't anyway, air my dirty laundry out. And I didn't want my family thinking I my kid's getting wind of it. You choose the people that you want to share that information with. And then really that's it. And you try to act normal otherwise.
I was opposite because I was isolated. Well, I was isolated. I finally was able to be okay with talking about it years and years into it. But the isolation from it was isolation from my family and friends until I needed some sort of release to talk about it. And so my parents were my parents, his parents, because, and the only reason that I felt comfortable doing that is because he treated them the same way, not nearly as bad, but they knew he was like that. And I needed just that reassurance and that comfort saying, we got you, I was protected in a sense. So even though I couldn't get out of it, or I didn't know how to get out of it, I still had family that was comforting me and it's going to be okay. Telling me, his own parents telling me to leave, like, you got to get out of there. So,
well, you said something specific, the reassurance. How relieved were each of you guys when somebody validated what you thought you were experiencing? Like somebody's like, yeah, what you're going, that's real. And he is a narcissist. You are in a some form of an abusive relationship of some type. Like, what was that moment like when you're like, oh my God, somebody finally sees it. I'm not crazy.
That's exactly the only thing it did for me, is to help me understand that I'm not crazy, but it didn't help the situation any. I knew I was still stuck, and it was up to me to get out of it. Nobody else could help me get out of it. I had to do that for myself, and it took almost 18 years to do it.
Isn't it disheartening? You finally.
Oh, it's such the way the mental anguish that my kids went through. In fact, my youngest last night driving home from church started talking about it just out of nowhere. And I asked him, I said, do you have any, because he's the youngest. And so you would think that at the time I was there, he was very young, but he said that he doesn't have a lot of recollection of things that happened, but he knows that it happened because his siblings went through it and they talk about it. So he said, Mom, I know it's just a matter of time before it happens to me. And he said, I already see it.
Oh.
He said, I already see it. He said, things are happening already and so he's it's the only child that has any relationship with their father. So I think he feels, if it were me in that situation, I would feel very guilty knowing that I was only child speaking to my dad. So how stuck do you think he feels?
Do you think guilty or betraying?
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, I would say that's, especially if maybe the treatment isn't getting to him as fast as it got to the others.
Oh no, I know it's not, because his dad knows that that's all he's got left. So he's going to do whatever it takes. And the word that he used, he said he just manipulates everything. And it doesn't matter how big or small. The manipulation is how he draws you in, and it's just
they're like so great at manipulating so many different kinds of people. But that's
so, Katie, I know the other two's people, those individuals. I've not met anybody from your past. You're living in my past. You're living in my old hometown. So you know a lot of people that used to know me. You have such your personality is so bold and it's so bright and it's so refreshing. And so when you talk about how you have experiences that are similar to the rest of ours, it just blows my mind. So I'm like, I feel like you would know where to bury a body if somebody crossed you. I feel like we could take lessons from you on true crime, perfect true crimes. So, and it's not a fault. I'm just like, I'm blown away that somebody could get past your bullshit meter.
Oh my gosh, you sound like my husband. Because
Which your current one?
my current, well, yeah,
You know,
because part of the thing is, I mean, I had a strong personality, and part of it I just got ripped away piece by piece, and then eventually,
imagine.
you know, you just don't feel like yourself. I am not myself. Like, it's not like I woke up one day and was like, there were all kinds of signs and there were bumps and everything, but getting out of it, yeah, definitely back to myself. But what I will say is how you described me or whatever is, I mean, I always had a stronger personality, but that tends, for me anyway, it tended to put me over and above, like that mentality, like, no motherfucker is going to treat me like this ever again.
See, this is why I said you're like the perfect true crimer. Like,
but well, Aaron will say the same. Like, I don't know, because we've been together. Well, we'll have been married 13 years in January, and we've been together for 18 total, I think. So, in the beginning, he was just like, I cannot believe. Basically, he was saying, I don't believe you. Like, you're
lying to me, but I'm gonna stay married to you.
Yeah, he was just like, there's no way. How are you this? And then I go, don't cross me.
So that's the thing, though, is like I think when I started sharing, I didn't share my background with Jim for a long time. I was trying to keep things to Tara's personality and Jim's personality and not the past. So we cannot have any of that. Emotional charity drives me up the wall. I'm not a fan of it. I want genuine reactions to the genuine person. So I kept a lot of things from Jim until we were solid. And when I started sharing things, he was just like, huh, that's interesting. Not saying I don't believe you, but I just find that interesting, especially when it came to the parent that was strongly narcissistic. He had met a couple my exes, and he's just like, oh yeah, okay, that checks. Like, he could math it. And then he had a hard time understanding the narcissistic parent aspect of it, because it's like, how do you treat your child like that? And then he saw it firsthand, which was the first time that parent was open about that treatment towards me. And he was just like, how are you not doing drugs on the street as a hooker? Like, I have questions for you. Like, how in the hell did you turn out normal? I'm like, first off, normal is a relative term, and I don't fit in that category.
I don't think anyone is normal. Just
I don't think so either. So I'm really tired of that term. Let's normalize normal, because there isn't. But it's amazing how these guys look at us and they're like, how is that possible, mother? Sir, I did not come out the nest like this. This was a lot of work and intention.
Yeah.
A lot of it. No, but to Aaron's point, just because I know your husband, I'm like, yeah, I can see him saying that. I can see him being like, how are your exes not afraid of you? Like, how? he doesn't even say yes. He's like, you do you, dear.
No.
He's not trying to say yes or no, or he's like, you do you.
Yeah,
we'll just store whatever it is you buy, the terrible, crazy Halloween dolls up in the attic with everything else, and I'll get them out every year. It'll be fine. But he's pretty down to earth and a really easygoing guy. So I feel like he's a good fit for your personality.
His ex was, we both had weird, difficult past relationships, and his was it was different than mine, but still, so he kind of understands. And that's when you were like, you try to not share all kinds of stuff in the beginning about, some of don't bring the bad. I mean, you want them to know, but you don't want to be like, here's my huge bag of shit, like all at once. And here you go. Do you still want to date me?
Okay, because I agree, because I've seen girls do that. Amber and I'm sure we all have. We've seen girls that just are like, here it all is, so you can decide. And I'm like, that's a lot of information to give him up front. Like, maybe start with just little bites of the elephant. Don't just shove the
Don't
elephant.
drag the shit on, but don't just bring one giant bag. Like, maybe you just like.
Well, I think I did that when I wanted to scare the guy off. I'm like, by the way, so I come from a dysfunctional, abusive home, and I might be a little crazy, but I'm cute, so you're welcome.
Did he like run as fast as he could?
No, he's just like, no, he's like, I think I'm going to do you tonight. That was his actual response, because this was an actual thing. And Amber,
I'm
you
sure
know
That's
him.
exactly
like,
what I was thinking. Like,
crazy.
okay, well, I'll do that and then run tomorrow.
And you know exactly who it is because you were there that night. That was back in the Old Town partying days. So I know his name even. But yeah, so, but I saw other girls do that too. And I'm just like, I guess I'll get rid of this guy. But no, he was like, yeah, you're doable for a night. That'll work.
Oh my gosh. Well, Aaron, when I did kind of find out, like, he was, I don't know, I just was like, something is wrong with this guy. Like, in my mind, he's quiet anyway and passive, but I just felt like he wasn't sharing something. Well, eventually it really came out that he was trying to keep things on the down low about his past, like divorce, his ex. Like, I don't want her to know all this stuff. So I just kind of had to pry it out, and but it took a long time.
Yeah. It's funny. So the narcissist that I dated between marriages, after both marriages, it actually ended one of my marriages intentionally.
You're a whore.
Okay. Body shame me, whore shame me, whatever. I'm good with that.
I'm sorry.
Don't threaten her with a good time.
That came to mind. You're a hoe.
You're a hoe. You say it like it's a negative. Like, I have experience.
We're all hoes.
My resume looks great, girls.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so glad I have Kitty apologizing on audio, because I'll use that later on. That's going to be her ringtone from now on my phone.
I'm sorry I called you a whore.
I'm going to tell Jim, and he's going to be like, not really. So sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud. At any rate, it's amazing what this narcissist will tell you, because you were talking about, you know, how they'll say things that from their past, and they use things from their past. And I think they use some of those things as control tactics. And the last narcissist I dated, which thanks to Jim has been long gone. That's another great story. You want to see a mic drop with a narcissist? I have the best story for that. But I remember when I was dating this guy, and he was just like, we were talking about sexual preferences, going back to the horror comment that Katie made. And he's just like, so yeah, my ex-wife would give me a BJ every day. I'm like, good for her. Well, she's done that every day since college when we met.
How much?
Outstanding. And he's like,
was she getting paid per BJ?
Right. I didn't ask the financial questions because he made it sound for free. And given what I knew about the guy, I'm like, you wouldn't be worth that much anyway. So I need that. Thank you, Amber. That circled back around. So he was just like, well, she avoided sexual contact with guys by only doing BJs in college. So she earned the nickname BJ. And I was like, you married the BJ from college? And he's like, well, yeah.
Duh.
What else did you guys do? And he's like, well, that's
You're
all.
like, I know her.
We were best friends in college. No. But he was going on about like, well, that's what women do. That's what you girls are supposed to do for us. I'm like, okay.
What?
Ew.
I would have punched him right
Ew,
there.
David.
There's my Katie. She showed up. I only say that, Katie, because I introduced you tonight as the girl who would throat punch somebody as a response tactic. So
oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
So he was really like, well, that's what she did every day for me since the day we started dating and married. I'm like, your ex is literally giving you a BJ every single day you two have been together. He's like, well, yeah. So that's what women do. That's what you guys are supposed to do. I shouldn't have to please myself. So when you talk about a red flag from the narcissist, I'm like, There was a beacon. It was a lighthouse. It was nothing but a giant red beam of light shining up into the atmosphere like, get out now, because he would actually get mad at me if I would not perform the way she did. I'm like, go back to her. You don't need me. You already had her trained. Get back to her. I don't need this. I'm not going to do this. This is not, that doesn't make this intimate and fun and an organic sexual experience for us. This makes it a chore. I don't serve you like that. And he's like, yeah, I don't have to do it myself. You're going to do it for me. I gotta go. This isn't going to work.
Doesn't enjoy masturbating.
That's what he said. He said he shouldn't have to do that for himself. And I'm like, what is it?
Well, you kind of do, because eventually,
You
I
kinda
mean,
do.
no one's gonna want to fuck you because you're a fuck ditch. Like, I just don't even have the words.
No, but I love that you're trying so hard.
Don't have the words for guys like that. Oh my God, are you serious?
I was, and he would get mad on the days you're like, I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I may not have washed today. I don't know. Just not today. He'd be like, you have to. And there were times
Are you kidding me?
Nope. And there were times I literally cried through some of our intimate experiences because he would not leave me alone. He would not stop bantering and coming at me. And the only way to get him to shut up was to do whatever. And I cried through several of those sexual experiences. And so when I was telling Jim about all this, and he was just like, why would you, like, if you need somebody to shut up, you do whatever is appropriate.
Are you
Just
kidding
get him
me?
to
You
shut up.
leave. That's what you do. You leave.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we were living together at the time.
Leave.
And my kids were there. I couldn't get him to leave my house. So that, and this was a really bad, narcissistic, super abusive, mentally abusive relationship. Probably the worst one I've ever been in. And getting away from him took Jim, which was, it was beautifully brilliant and still pisses that dude off to this day. But yeah, that's one of those things that you have to be their one and only person. They're only going to focus on you, and you're responsible for every aspect of their life, no matter what. Somebody needs to respond. I cannot be the only person here.
Oh, talking about being responsible for every aspect of their life. That was also my first husband. Yeah.
Ooh.
I was, I could talk for an hour about his psychosis, but he basically wanted to marry his mother, and he did have an Oedipus complex.
He did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
He was something special.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, and your second one thought you were the crazy one, which I still laugh at to this day. I'm like, you're the one telling stories about coming from a Amish prostitute, sir. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I mean, and he worked for the mob in Kansas City too, apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the chat. I wasn't. Okay, we've got two people in the chat, Judy and Duck. You guys are cracking me up. So every time you guys see me like falling apart over here, and I'm trying to hold myself together, it's because I'm looking at the chat. I'm like, what? Oh. Judy, I don't know how you found us, but oh my gosh, you are hilarious. But and then Duck is commenting. They're going back and forth. I can't even put words to it. It is hilarious what they're saying in the chat. One of the things that popped up, I need to see if I can find it, because Judy's got some power over some dudes. Apparently she bought a penis enlarger and made the dude use it. Oh, there it is. There's the comment. I bought mine a penis pump and taught him how to use it.
That's funny.
You're my hero.
Judy, I don't know who you are. I think it's the first time I've noticed you, but you need to become a regular with Duck. Like, that is just beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But yes, your second, I didn't know your first ex near as well as I know your second. Your second one, I have plans for in the here and the after.
You know what? Here, just side note real quick, I guess. Each one of our, well, you know what? I don't really want to say it we'll talk about it outside this.
Go back to the group chat. You just intrigued a whole. Everybody's like, "What
I know.
are you going to say?"
I want to hear.
Yeah, same. Let's hear it.
Your shenanigans, just go for it. I've revealed some stuff I probably shouldn't about a man I care about today, even though we had a shitty past. I still put it out there. And his wife knows, by the way, folks. That's not, she knows. We've talked about it. And it's all good. So by all means, Katie, this is a safe space. It's not a safe space. We all know that's not safe. This is shenanigans space.
I'm just like, the movie Old School, where they go and kidnap some people.
Mhm.
Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen it.
I'm just saying, I think that, we could, I don't know, something along those.
Oh, I like where your head is going.
Each one pick their biggest.
I see why she didn't want to put this out there. It'll be used as evidence against us later on. So
Yeah, I
she
know.
should
That's why I
probably-
didn't. That's why I didn't want to.
This is why you lead with in an effort to avoid legal prosecution. I'm going to stop talking and plead the fifth. This is where you do this shit at, Katie.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to go somewhere fun and quirky, but we went right for.
Hey, it will be fun and quirky.
We're going to end up on my algorithm. We're going to end up on my true crime algorithm. Do you know how awkward that's going to be to see my own name on a true crime algorithm? I'm just saying.
I think it'll be a good time for all.
We just need to make sure
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I'm not doing.
I mean, we could just turn in their personal information to ICE.
Oh, she's gonna do this tonight. I was gonna avoid the subject matter.
Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
But I think
I'm not even going to say the word again.
but
But it's just a little something you could do just to mess with them a little bit.
oh my gosh.
Anyway,
that went dark fast. That escalated or de-escalated. I'm not sure which, but that definitely took a turn.
Sorry.
You know how to kill a room, Amber, so to speak.
sorry.
No, you're not.
No.
I was gonna stop drinking after this glass tonight. I was, and now I have
I'm
no
not.
motivation. I'm not.
Well, this was my first glass. I didn't drink
Shoot.
yesterday. I barely drank in
love you, Katie.
Vegas.
You barely
So-
what?
I barely
in
drank in
Vegas?
Vegas.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I mean, well, because here's the thing. Like, I mean,
I mean,
it's
not to
that I
judge, but I need some understanding behind this. Why?
well, like when you're at the tables and they're bringing you free drinks, they're so weak. Like I didn't even get a buzz. So
Well, they're free though, right? When you're gambling.
Oh,
drinking's
they're free. Yeah. They're
Why
free.
didn't you drink wine?
Because who
it's
wants to
casino wine.
drink free wine? Like that, it was not going to be good.
It came back.
I
for
stuck to
landing.
my
I heard
vodka
what it
soda
said.
because yeah. So you get it. But
Totally, yeah. As the wine snob of the group, yes, I get it.
yeah.
Totally. And real quick, Judy in the chat is asking if husbands are estranged. Words. Exes are estranged from their children. Mine is. That's a great question.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah,
and
because
that's-
like my son dealt with a lot of bullshit. They are not estranged so much. They still are in contact with each other, but they do not have a good relationship.
Well, and yours is religious. His relationship with his father is religiously influenced, correct?
No.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
he was never baptized, so it didn't apply to him. Yeah, I mean it's there.
Oh.
He's not close with his dad because of how he was raised, unfortunately. So
And we heard Kathy, you were talking about 3 of the 4 do not talk.
4 of the 5.
4 of the 5. That's right. I forget. There's.
Well,
always
I would
forget them.
say 1 of the 5 is like very rare. Like they talk, but not often.
Mhm.
But they've all been through it.
And then Katie.
No, they have a relationship with their father. So
Okay. And my 3 are from my 2 marriages. My boys are from my first marriage, which is the marriage that ended badly. But again, we have gone through some serious family trauma where a lot of healing has taken place. My 25-year-old endured a stroke last year that changed the algorithm for the family dynamics drastically. Things changed amazingly. Him marrying the woman he's married to today was a huge game changer. That woman is incredible. She's agreed to come on SheNanigans. She thinks the idea is fun. She's got a dark sense of humor. We're such good friends that she brought her husband over here to my house with my partner. We were playing games and intentionally making her husband blush because apparently he's approved now. I didn't know this, but it was a hell of a lot of fun to screw around with him, with his own wife sitting right there like, yep, that's the way to go. That's how you do that. Outstanding. And he's just like, y'all stop ganging up on me. And she's like, nope, it's the only chance I get. So we have a good relationship. His boys have a good relationship with him. Hasn't always been that way. It's taken a lot of work. My daughter has a relationship with her father, but he's not really a narcissist. He's kind of a gray blob.
He's just lazy.
He's just kind of is. He exists.
Yeah.
He's not mean. He's not abusive. He's not anything. He's there. Whenever you need something, there he is. So that's that's the interactions between, which is unusual because I know for the situation like with the narcissistic family that I come from, I have zero relationship with my parents. None. We don't. Is she doing an Irish goodbye? Is she sneaking out of here? There she is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go here in a minute too, guys.
Yeah, and we're past an hour, but
She's
I don't.
muted.
Yeah, she is muted.
We didn't do it.
Oh, there.
I do need to. Yeah, I was just gonna send a message because I do need to get, because it's over in an hour and I've got.
Well, and we
I
can
cannot.
close it out too. It's just been a very, it's been a not as fun a conversation, but given our chat the other day, this is something we wanted to bring out there. I don't know that we were all quite ready for it. Maybe
We should have just part 2.
I feel like we can definitely expand on this subject quite a bit because I feel like each of us maybe just barely touched on some experiences and we could probably dive further into that.
I mean, they were focused on our exes, right?
Yeah.
Because like I have an ex-best friend that was a narcissist, and that's a whole other a whole other animal right there. So
she's something special.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about
so
this.
we'll dive back into this next week to keep the conversation going. I'll try to post some things on the Facebook page, the SheNanigans Facebook page, and see if maybe and on the Facebook page, I don't know, are you guys admins on the Facebook? I don't know, but I need to make you guys admins.
I'm on there. It's not like something that pops up on my feed often. I don't know why, because I commented on it before. So
I'll start pushing that a little bit more, but it's a topic. I think women are very susceptible to narcissists. I really do think that far more than guys are susceptible to female narcissists. I really think that we fall for those traps. And it would be interesting to explore the social construct, the social influence of why maybe we get wrapped up into narcissistic relationships faster than what guys get wrapped up in.
Yeah, I think we can talk about it more, but just the tip of the iceberg, where I think naturally more emotional on that level.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed. All righty. So on that note, we will come back to this next Thursday. For Cash finally joined us in the chat. We haven't seen Cash in forever. And Doug was in the chat. And Judy, thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back next Thursday, but come find us on Facebook and interact with us there. We could do all kinds of shenanigans on the Facebook page until they kick us out of Facebook, and that's fine too. That's our goal, is to get kicked out of somewhere. We're not doing a very good job of that. We've not been muted or kicked out or nothing. So we either need to get Katie lit and high and let her just go with it, or
let me go. Yeah.
We tried. You with
I like it.
The last time we got together. So, but we'll be back with episode 26 next week. You guys have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.